There we go. All right, nice. Okay. So yeah, it's a joy to be here for Stichting Nederlanders Back to Nederlands. And I am indeed the American Netherlander. Dus I am the American living abroad in Nederland. Een beetje andersom. I love performing for Dutch embassies and consulates in the United States, across Europe. And it is always funny to see, especially going back to America, where New Yorkers like to hate on their home country the same way that I'm hating on America. But yeah, like, oh, I didn't realize how I will come over to the Netherlands and say, like, oh, America, they're so backward. And I go to New York and talk with Ilko and the Dutch people living in New York, and they're like, oh, Nederland is so kleindenkend, and you know. Anyway, but like, oh, okay. It's nice to have the back and forth and crossover. What else? I'm gonna just see if that's working. Yes. Oh yeah, I wrote the book. So as Ilko, I believe your son is now reading this book.
Yes,
he's
11 years old.
For reference, he's only 11. Okay, well, not recommended for super young readers, but if you can read in English, that's great. Yeah, the book is in English. My publisher is Dutch. I said, should we have a translation into the Dutch language? And he said, like, nah, everybody reads English. Right. Anyway, so as I mentioned, I have two nationalities, and it is fun to go back and forth between the two. I'm just going to skip on ahead and let's see. Where's the picture there? So I am Gregory Shapiro, or just Greg, or in Dutch, Greg Shapiro. Dat is mijn name in the Dutch, which is a great example of culture shock. Yes, imagine moving to a different country and realizing I've been pronouncing my own name wrong my entire life. Maar goed, dat krijg je als Amerikaan in Nederlands. Culture shock and... oh yeah, there's that guy. Yeah. We talked with Ruben from VVD. Oh no, we talked with Roy originally. Yeah, deep cut, way back to the beginning. About Unilever leaving, Shell leaving the Netherlands. Well, I came to the Netherlands because of tax purposes. Specifically, I wanted my taxes to be used for actual purposes. In America, we have the champion, the latest champion of trickle-down economics. It's a great two-step program. Step one, you send all the money up to the top. Step two, there's no step two. Anyway, we have yes, that's the voice, by the way. You may know the voice from the video that was the same weekend as Donald Trump was sworn in as president. This video was so great, it was so fantastic, it went so viral back when viral meant a good thing. Anyway, yes, that was my voice in that video on Zondag met Lubach. And this video was a great calling card for all the Dutch people living outside the Netherlands, wasn't it? Everybody's like, have you seen this video? Yes, I'm from the Netherlands. The video went viral and went around the world and back. People were sending me the link to the video from the United States. Yeah, have you seen it? It's about America, but it's in the voice of Trump. And and I said, yeah, Mom, that's me. It's my voice in the video. Anyway, now people want to know, do you think that Donald Trump has ever seen this video? And the answer is, I don't know. But if you do check online, I can prove that this video from the little Netherlands now has more views on YouTube than the official Donald Trump inauguration video from that same weekend. So, well played, Nederland. Anyway, it can be difficult when you have a Dutch name, typical Dutch name, in an English-speaking setting. First of all, yeah, ik ben Freek, but in America, hello, your name is Freak. I am Freak, and this is my colleague Jerk. Yes. Is this some kind of joke? Like, oh no, this is my boss Yoka, and this is her assistant Taco. Taco in every other country, ethnic food from Mexico. Nope, in the Netherlands, we have, oh yeah, there was a meeting I had with a guy named Sicko. And I said, "Oh, that's a difficult name, dude." And he said, "No, dude, it just dude. I meant sicko and dude in the same meeting." Oh yeah, Taco, the head of the Rijksmuseum, an official important man. His name is Taco Dibbits. It sounds not like a name; it sounds like a snack food. But welcome to the Rijksmuseum. I am Taco Dibbits. This is my assistant, Guacamole. Let me know if you'd like some more salsa. Anyway, okay, there we go. So, Eerste Kamer, yay! It's a Kiescollege and it's a festival. It's a huge amount of responsibility to have this weekend, this very weekend that they flew the Kies members into for Pinkster weekend. Pinkster, the famous moment in the Bible when Jesus took a long weekend. I think that is how Dutch people celebrate. Anyway, who knew? I did not know that there were so many Nederlanders outside of the Netherlands. 1 million Nederlanders, so that's 1/18 of the 18 million population. That would be like if all of Amsterdam, Metro Amsterdam, just like left Amsterdam all of a sudden. And that would be great for housing prices in Amsterdam. Anyway, we do have a new proposal now. There's no more smoking marijuana outside. So at least we'll limit maybe some of the tourists coming to the red light districts. I said, if you really want to make a difference, you create a whole new theme park just in the middle of the North Sea called Naughty Weekend. You recreate the buildings of the red light district brick for brick, but just, and if anybody asks you when you get back, did you go to the real red light district or the fake one? The only respectable answer is, I don't remember. And I said this as a joke to someone in Amsterdam City Council, and they said, no, we're really thinking about that. It's just not the North Sea. We're thinking of Lelystad. Yes, Lelystad Airport. Anyway, we finally have an idea for what to do with that. Yes, New York. So to compare, if there were, I don't know how many Americans there are outside of America right now, but if it was the same proportion of the Dutch population, it would be like if the entire population of New York all of a sudden decided to escape from New York. That's a lot of people, a lot of Nederlanders outside of Nederland. And thank goodness that you do have a chance, hopefully your vote is being counted, to vote in the Eerste Kamer. It's a complicated thing. In America, we have the Electoral College, and that's for the White House. But here you have this sort of Electoral College with the Provinciale Staten, and then the Eerste Kamer. Yeah, but yeah, Electoral College, it's kind of like a fail-safe program, ideally, if there would be a party that would get in, saying that they're a real political party, and it turns out that they're just a bought and paid for PR campaign from David's or like, I don't know. Anyway, who knows? But hey, you survived 4 years of FVD in the Eerste Kamer, and who knows if they'll show up. But anyway, sorry, that's just my own opinions, not representing anyone else here. Here's what it's like to vote when you're an American outside of the United States. See if any of this sounds familiar. In America, if they have a tax bill to send you, somehow they know your address. But when you want to go voting from outside the country, it can be a little more difficult. Yes, in the Netherlands, if you live in the Netherlands, it's so great. This is how, you get the stem formulier, you get the stem pulse right through your door. Sometimes in the Netherlands, you don't even realize there's an election coming up. You can just be going through your post, bills, blauwe envelope, stemmen. Oh, Provinciale Staten en waterschappen. Oh, lieverd, zullen we gaan stemmen? Ja, gezellig. So this is how we go voting in the Netherlands. It's very efficient, actually. But when you're outside of the country, it's similar when you want to go vote in the United States. Yes. You have to, first of all, re-register to vote every election cycle. I believe this is the same for every of the 50 states, but it can be very different from state to state. you have to indeed print out your envelope. It looks like it's orange here, which would be an odd coincidence. Some states do have that. I am voting in Chicago, Illinois, the state of Illinois. So you have to find your county. You have to find the county clerk. You have to re-register. You have to sign an oath, standard oath, which you have to then print out and stick like with tape onto or find a printer that can do the American like format of an 8.5 by 11, super modern. And then you have to make sure that you send it to the right address. Now, this last, let's see. Oh yeah, in 2020 election, I did vote, and my daughter was old enough to vote for the first time. So she voted abroad. She got a confirmation that her vote was, received and certified and counted. And I got an email saying your vote was received. That's it. Don't know if it was ever counted or certified, but it's again, we should have digital voting in America as well. Maybe the Netherlands will have it first. It's a race. We'll see. Anyway, so yes, I also wanted to share some experiences of being an actual candidate. This for sure was the show that I did, want ik was lijstduwer voor die 2020, de gemeenteraadsverkiezingen in Amsterdam. The gemeenteraadsverkiezingen, yes, since I am a well-known expat in the Dutch Amsterdam community, they asked, hey, would you like to vote mine? Some non-citizens, this is the only election when you can actually vote in the Netherlands if you've lived here for 5 years or longer. So, yes, I said, okay, I'm not just going to help with the campaign. This time I'm going to be on the ballot style of the lijst. Yes, you're not going to be up the top, you'll be at the bottom. You're not the lijsttrekker, you'll be the lijstduwer. And I said, well, it was my ego talking. I said, what happens if I win? They said, don't worry, there are 45 seats in Amsterdam City Council, and you will be on the list as number 47. So even if I would win votes, I would have to eliminate a bunch of people on the list to get a job that I wasn't qualified for. So it turned out just fine. Anyway, I did the responsible thing. I had to test if this party that was asking me to be on their list, if I would be ideologically suited to their party values. And so I did the STEM visor. I asked all these questions, and it's a fun trick. If you do the STEM visor and you have 30 different questions, if you do geen van beide, no decision for all of the 30 questions, then the party they give you is D66. So right in the middle. So that seems like that's perfect for me. Anyway, D66, ik ken mensen in Amsterdam City Council, sinds Jan Pazen eigenlijk, all the way back. Anyway, the kieswijzer and the stemwijzer and the Kiescollege, they're doing great work. All kinds of questions, like windmolens. Amsterdam moet stoppen met het plaatsen van nieuwe windmolens. Oké, eens of oneens. En dan ik ben oneens dat Amsterdam moet stoppen, dus ik ben wel eens dat ze moet. It's always complicated. En dan met waterschappen. Wil je die waterpeil laag of hoog? Ik weet niet. En dan, every time there's in the last 10 questions, do you think that the citizens should have more of a voice in referenda elections? That's when it's like, no, absolutely. I am so not qualified. But anyway, yes, let's take a look at some of the many parties that were taking part in this election for the gemeenteraadsverkiezingen last time. When you get to the city level, it's a very low bar to start a party. You could vote for the 2 white guys party. If that's not exotic enough, the 3 white guys party. Very exciting. There was a guy from my neighborhood who started up a whole party just called Free Cash Now, sort of like Bigger Penis Now. Not sure what exists happening. This guy, Dennis Ursom, I'm going to start my own party, just called the Party, the Face Partei. Why not? This party, I'm not sure what they were selling. The Groenen and the Basis Inkomen Partij and they're actually called Mokum van Morgen. And I think they're the most like the Pirate Party because they literally stolen the party logos from these other parties. Well done there. This is a gentleman who started his own party apparently to advertise for his Surinamese food business. That's also Leefde Republiek Eet Mijn Eten. And this is a fellow who has Nederland met a plan. I don't know what his plan is. Maybe reunite both halves of my face. I did it for him with Photoshop. It says the mission accomplished. But anyway, that was the local elections. And then, of course, we have the national parties like Partij voor de Dieren and their logo, Plan B. If you know you can only vote one time, we're your backup plan, apparently. Not a great strategy. Oh, yeah, I don't know if you can see this. Neat stemmers. This was an experiment. They said, if you vote for us, we promise we will not vote on any resolution, bill, legislation in the Tweede Kamer. And no one voted for them. That's pretty much what they were asking for. Oh yeah, SP. Oh, great logo for SP. The flying tomato. The flying tomato for years and years. But sometimes they want to mix it up. We need a new logo. Let's go pink and yellow. And now that to me is a human butt. Yes, a whole new meaning to big stare. Anyway, it's the weekend, everyone. Okay, but so back to the United States and when you're going to vote, we only ever have two choices, two major parties. We have other parties and they take part just for, I don't know, spoilers, you know, the Green Party, the, what is it, the other one, the, Libertarian Party, or, you know, other ones off to the sides, yeah. Yes, but yeah, mostly it is the Republicans and the Democrats. That's how you vote in America. You have a ballot, it goes floop, floop. There's just two choices. In the Netherlands, when you want to take your STEM formulaire, your big ballot, I mean, you floop, 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 floop. You're not even halfway done opening the entire ballot with every single candidate from every single party. It's a celebration of democracy. Yes, it is. And imagine having to print this out when you're living outside the country. The Netherlands had to order a special size of paper over 1 meter long to accommodate all of the names on. And then it's so bizarre that you can only vote one time. It's like a menu at a tapas restaurant, you know, the Spanish tapas, where you want to try a little bit of everything. But no. It's the Netherlands. You can only vote for one thing. And yet, at the end of the voting, I'm pretty sure you will end up with more than one coalition item on your plate. Anyway, I love it how parties can start up just as splitting off from other parties, or they can start up with just an idea. Partij van de Eenheid. Yes, it was two guys in Almere. And they said, we should have more unity, more eenheid. And a year after they started, they broke up because they couldn't agree on the definition of eenheid. But hey, that is the politics. The smaller the country, the more we like to disagree. It's so many different parties. It's amazing. Every time there are 10 new parties that you've never heard of, and 10 parties that may never exist again. So indeed, celebrate, get your vote in early, as early as possible, and hopefully it will be counted. That was a bit from the list for the show. And getting back to the topic at hand, oh yes, America, of course. Living in America, it can be challenging, I know. Half the country is at risk of flooding and the other half is at risk of fires now. And half the political parties in the United States are thinking, well, why don't we just lift up the flat earth map of the United States and tilt it a little bit so that the water from one half spills over and puts out the fire from the other half. Yay, that's science. And now I've got members of my own family who they started out asking, when are you coming back? When are you moving home? But now for the first time, they're saying, what's life like in the Netherlands? Is it nice over there? And I tell them, full is full. So don't worry, got your back. Anyway, so voor zoveel mensen hier, voor mensen in Nederlanders buiten Nederland, hopelijk ja, krijgen we iets van digitale stemmen. Safe and secure, double encrypted, secure voting. We could, our prime minister is a simple sort of fellow, but we should tell him that also digital voting could be good for the climate. Climate is good. It would take a miracle to get our climate targets at this point. I think that's the reason that the Christian Union is in the current coalition, praying for miracle. That's their job. Yes. You guys, you like praying, right? Okay, pray for climate targets by 2030, and that is delegated. Anyway, let's not forget that there are many Dutch innovations and Dutch, technological advances that I think could make for successful digital voting. Indeed, this is a game that you can play anywhere around the world. I call it the Dutch touch. You just go around the room and point to things that started out Dutch or from Dutch artists or innovators, like the artwork hanging on your wall, the long life light bulb in your hall, the fact that carrots are orange. Yeah, who knew? And don't forget, Wi-Fi, that's Dutch too. The first operational submarine, the Senseo, also the Senseo, the crappy coffee machine. What else? Yeah, the first microscope from Anthony van Leeuwenhoek. And then when you realized your eyesight was not so good, the first eye chart was Dutch. From the 1600s, Palmer Hayden's first ever hose fire engine. And emergency bridges, which, when you need to emergency extend. The first speeding cameras for when you're speeding, and Bram Molenaar, the creation of open source software Vim, and also we transfer, as Dutch as can be, forever. They will have up to 2 gigs for free. Those are just the ones that I can make rhyme, okay? And some of those are in the book, The American Nederlander. But now let us close by just saying respect for all the Dutch brands and Dutch startups, that made their way to international turf, the outside of Netherlands, the national airline of the Netherlands. In English, it's pronounced Killam. Not a great name for the English market, but they make it work anyway. One of the largest financial institutions in the Netherlands is pronounced rob a bank. But we still trust them with our money. Isn't that beautiful that they make it work? Anytime you want a blank notebook, they all say, no titties. It's a very open and tolerant society, maar no titties, please. Breakfast, worst croissants, very Dutch direct, these are terrible. Lunch is the worst. And if you want to do any baking, there's those products called White Bastard Sucker. Find it again. For your pets, there's something called the bark menu. I don't know what this means yet. Right down the road from the Hague, where we are now, there's the Bad Hotel in Scheveningen. So bad for 50 years. This white van is from the Kronenberg Group. What logo would you like for your all-white van? KKK, please. No. These guys, oh yes, this is from Deventer, the bone shop hard on. And down your hair, it's supposed to be Australian, but maybe they're very specific. Oh, Thompson's driving list. Only in the Netherlands, I guess. And what else? Dog style for grooming your dog. I asked the owner, does it have a meaning in English? And he said, yes. But also, Mr. Camera left, I checked. Yes, his name is Martinez, but he insists on calling himself Teeny. Teeny Cox, ladies and gentlemen, as paid, represent. For stichting buitenlanders, Nederlanders buiten Nederland. I have been Greg Shapiro, the American Netherlander, saying thank you very Dutch. Back to you, gentlemen, from Ilko and Willem. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Greg.
Yay.
I think this was wonderful. We kunnen terug naar Nederlands. Ja, dat blijft dan toch even inzitten. Ja, dan sluiten we hiermee het live gedeelte van het SNBN Kiescollege Festival af. Voor de mensen in Amerika die later in zijn getuned, hebben we het voorprogramma wordt opnieuw herhaald. Wij gaan zo dadelijk een drankje doen aan de bar. En we willen iedereen hier in het bijzonder, Ruben Brekevans, Chantal Deen, bedanken om hier aanwezig te zijn. En mevrouw Abdelaziz op de Zoom en iedereen die meegewerkt heeft aan het programma. Misschien moet jij dat niet zeggen.
Voor degene die erop zat te wachten op de update van dubbele nationaliteit, door een technische glitch is die nu nog niet beschikbaar, maar die komt straks beschikbaar. Die komt op de website, natuurlijk in de nieuwsbrieven en via de social media, waarin Herman de Voer van Evera Advocaten de update zal geven van waar staan we nu met dubbele nationaliteit en wat kunnen we verwachten in de aankomende maanden nu er een nieuw wetsvoorstel ligt. Dus dat gedeelte houdt u nog voor ons te goed, maar het komt er zo snel mogelijk aan. Ik wil graag iedereen nogmaals bedanken, zoals ik al eerder heb gedaan. Alle aanwezigen hier ter plaatse in het Centerhuis in Den Haag. Maar vooral alle kijkers en iedereen die heeft meegeschreven met vragen en opmerkingen vanuit het buitenland. Ik werk Shapiro ontzettend bedankt. En laat het niet de eerste keer en niet de laatste keer zijn dat we hier bijeenkomen in een hybride setting vanuit de SNBN. Want we hebben nog verschillende ideeën en plannen voor de toekomst. Wat dat betreft kijk ik ook even met een schuin oog naar Ruben Brekemans. Jullie zijn nog niet van ons af. In alle vriendelijkheid, want we werken graag met jullie samen. En zo brengen wij de democratie telkens een stapje vooruit. Dus nogmaals bedankt. Iedereen een verder goede Pinksteren en tot de volgende keer.
Nou.